Amsterdam, beginning in the 1620s. Every single day. And in 1814, well, first of all, in 1809, a guy named Robert Fulton invents the steam ferry, and he starts regular steam ferry service to and from New York City from this site right here. Now look over there, you're right. You see that building with the red brick building that says Eagle Warehouse and Storage Company on top of it? That's a warehouse that was turned into an apartment building in 1979. You know one of the first people who ever lived in that building? Was me. That's my old house. That's where I grew up, right there. Isn't that nice? Okay, so the water's not likely to freeze. And it remained the ideal port until the year 1867. That was the year the unthinkable happened, and New York and Brooklyn realized we better build a bridge. Well, that's easier said than done. Any bridge would have to be long enough to span the East River and tall enough for ships to go up to a tall mast to go underneath it. So the man with the answers was a German-born engineer by the name of John August Roebling. John August Roebling had designed a suspension bridge that connects Cincinnati, Ohio to Covington, Kentucky, what they now call the Roebling Bridge. So based on Washington, he built a diving bell so he could dive down to go to the Manhattan Tower, and he got air bubbles in his bloodstream and suffered from what's called Caisson's disease, also known as the bends, and was bedridden for the rest of the construction of the bridge. So he had to supervise the progress from his sickbed through binoculars. And so he supervised through binoculars, and he monitored the progress, but he needed somebody on site to actually take notes and supervise for him. So for that, he dispatched his wife, Emily Roebling. And Emily Roebling, now this is the 19th century, she shows up at the construction site. 14 years of construction, the Brooklyn Bridge has its dedication. And a week later, the bridge has its first full day of traffic. And a whole bunch of people are going on top to go across the bridge. And somebody trips and falls. And then some moron yells out, "The bridge is gonna collapse under its own weight." Panic ensued. And a dozen people were trampled to death on the very day the Brooklyn Bridge opened. So in order to prove that the bridge was safe, P.T. Barnum of the Barnum and Bailey Circus fame held a parade of elephants across the bridge, led by the mighty Jumbo. Well, the bridge didn't collapse, did it? So now we're going underneath the Manhattan Bridge. This is the Manhattan Bridge. It was built in 1909.